This time on Flipping Bangers.
We buy a car that we both love and respect.
Doesn't that bring back some good old memories,
It's
eh?
the same colour as ours.
But at the bottom of the market.
1,500 quid is a stinker, isn't it?
You have to make compromises.
Ah, yes. I can see that there's a hole here.
Work harder.
It's a labour of love, though, isn't it?
Longer.
Face the pressure. Forget how.
Or things start to unravel.
Okay.
That doesn't look good. Is that not good?
I'm Gus Gregory.
And I'm Will Trickett.
Together, we're risking everything to follow a dream
It's something I've wanted to do for a long, long time.
We've packed in our day jobs
and invested our own hard-earned cash.
as we try to make a living in the cutthroat world of second-hand cars.
It's all in the chase. You've got to buy well, you've got to sell well.
Why would anybody buy this car?
We've got a goal.
We want to double our money. If we put 500 quid in, we need to see £1,000 back. We're targeting the very bottom of the market.
We buy cars that nobody else wants. Can we keep our business afloat, Flipping Bangers? It needs so much work doing to it. 1 year ago, we turned our backs on our regular jobs, rented this garage and attempted to carve out a new living by buying and selling cheap cars, and made enough money flipping bangers just to return.
People dream of giving everything up, but we're doing it for real. And it's scary.
We've raided our piggy banks again, and this time we have enough to spend £500 to £1,000 on each car. If we want to cover our costs and pay ourselves wages on top, we have no choice but to double our return on every pound we put in. Our workshop time must be fixed too, and runs to just 5 days per car. We've swapped a salary and a wage, possibly for nothing.
The workshop begs for fresh meat, and we've got to decide on a flavour.
So if we want to buy a classic British car that's incredibly easy to work on, where would we be going?
I would definitely be thinking Morris Minor.
Exactly, Morris Minor, yeah.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I used to have one. Pickups and vans are my favourite, but I know we're not going to be able to afford either of those.
We used to have them as well. We never had a van. Oh, actually, my dad did have a van.
Yeah.
He had a van for years.
But minors are popular, and historically prices have been high. But at the moment, it's not the case. So it seems like the prices in general have come down.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Were 4 or 5, are now 3.
Yeah. But we don't have £3,000. So it kind of reckon, you know, if we're looking at things around about 1,500 quid or less,
Yeah.
we're aiming at the bottom, aren't we?
The trouble with them is, when people own them, they polish the outside, don't they? They keep the inside nice and clean, but they don't realise that the bottom's fallen out of the car.
No.
And 1,500 quid is a stinker, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've just got to find the right stinker.
We have.
We actually investigate 3 Morris Minors that turn out to be more rotters than stinkers, until we stumble on a blue car that's more solid.
So, what do you reckon about this Morris Minor then?
We've just got to be careful.
Yes.
Tom seems like a really nice bloke. He sounds like he was interested in it, you know? He's not just bought it to pass it on. He's bought it to do it up as a project, and then, I don't know, things have got in the way like they do.
Yeah, OK. The intention was to have it for himself.
Sounds genuine, that's what I'm saying.
The only issue here is that we know the car is on an auction, and the seller, Tom, isn't interested in a deal before it finishes.
Oh, come on.
Doesn't that bring back some good old memories,
It's
eh?
the same colour as ours.
Is it?
Yeah, that's dangerous already.
It's almost sold. Tom?
Yes.
Good morning, Tom. I'm Will.
You all right?
Hello, Tom.
I'm Gus.
Hi,
Pleased
Gus.
to meet you.
We've come to have a look at your little car.
Yeah, no worries.
It looks really sweet instantly. I know you shouldn't say that, should you, when you're buying a car?
No, we're going to be a little bit careful, Gus. Must say, despite the bit of grime on her, she's looking pretty good. How long have you had her?
About a year now. I bought it as a project, but never really had much time to do anything with it, so just want to get rid of it now.
It looks really nice in here. All the seats match and the carpets look good. And, oh, headlining, it's got a zip in it.
Yeah, it was a police car.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
Excellent.
The doors used to be white, but someone's obviously painted them blue. to match the rest of the car.
Did you get the little blue light with it as well?
No, they weren't. No, they weren't with the car. No.
Oh, no,
That would have been really cool.
That's a pity.
So is there anything else you can tell us about the car generally that we need to know?
Yes, it needs a bit of welding in the boot.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, shall we have a look?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Ah, yes. I can see that there's a hole here, and although I am feigning concern, it doesn't really worry me, because that's your job, isn't it?
Oh, no, I thought you might say that. Well, there's not too much there, but I bet you there's more elsewhere.
Yeah. I think we should get out and drive it?
Yeah, I
Much
think we
more
should.
fun.
There's only one problem with that.
What's that?
You're closer to the driving seat than I am.
Yes.
Oh, I'd like to drive this one.
You drive.
Cheers, Gus.
Is that all right, Tom?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Thanks very much.
So, completely forgetting to look inside the engine bay, which is essential on a car like this, we head off for a drive. Oh, not only does it feel like memory lane, it looks like memory lane.
There's something special about how connected you are with this car when you're driving it. To make these cars cheap, they put the gearbox underneath the gear lever, didn't they?
Yes.
Everything is exactly where you would want it to be.
Yeah.
It's a very pure experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's lovely.
How has it been treated, Will? Let's hear it.
Well, let's have a little rundown on what I can find. Firstly, and most importantly, we know that there's a bit of rust at the back.
Yeah.
That funny crunching noise that's coming from the back, I think, is the rear spring hanger and the chassis disconnect bit.
Yeah.
So brakes. Well, they're not frighteningly good, but they're not frighteningly bad. Gears, absolutely beautiful. These little gearboxes, it just purrs along, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Steering. Well, it's connected to the wheels, obviously. It makes
Even if the back's not connected?
the back doesn't seem very connected. You know, I think this could be a sound little car.
Yeah, I think so
And
as well.
And a good investment.
Yeah.
Can't beat a little boggy, can you?
So if £1,500 is the price of a poor mog, and this one seems pretty decent, we need to secure it for less, hopefully a lot less. But we've been told already that if we want the car, we have to bid.
That's smashing. Huh?
Do you know what? That's absolutely brilliant. That's a proper little trip down memory
Yeah,
lane.
it has been a while since you've been in a police car, has it?
Yes. Thank you for letting us take your car out, though, and have a good look at it.
Well, you're the only guys that come out to view it.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems mad to me, that, doesn't it? That people don't come and see cars that they're bidding on. Because we know now what we think it's worth. We know what it'll probably go for.
Yeah.
But at least we know what we're going to bid on it, don't we?
We do, yeah. So I think the thing is we'll leave you to it now, and we'll get home, put a bid in.
Yep.
And, you know, look forward to seeing you again in the future.
No worries.
Wicked.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Tom.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Tom.
much.
That's really sweet of
Thank
you
you.
to let us take it out. Thank you.
Bye now.
Cheers, Tom. Bye-bye.
It's annoying to leave empty-handed, but the fact that we've been the only visitors means we might have a chance of grabbing it.
This isn't a bad car, is it? It's got
No,
more
it's not.
positives than negatives, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to make a bid on it at this stage, but I'm very, very reluctant to go in at 1,500 quid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we know, don't we? We've said it 100 times. The
Yeah.
base level of those cars is 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
No matter what we bid, it's going to go to around 1,500.
That might well be the benchmark, and I'm prepared to accept that that's the benchmark, but I'm not prepared to accept that we should pay that. And I think all of the other bidders are going to be trying to hang back a bit as well.
Yeah.
I think we should do the same.
1,300?
Yeah,
Shall we?
yeah, let's do that.
We'll do it when we get back.
So we stick in 1350 to be on the safe side. A day later, it's time to check in and see if we got lucky.
Yes, we did win it! 1,280. So we got it for less than our maximum bid. That is brilliant news.
Which means we own an ex-police Morris with a missing door handle and questionable paintwork.
Well, we've got it, but do you still like it?
I do like it. It looks a little bit scuzzy here and there, but yeah, it's all right.
I love these 1940s curves still going on and still being sold in the 1970s. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous looking, and it's such a lovely colour as well. I mean, it looks to me that most of the bits on this car are actually pretty good. And I've got a good feeling. I reckon we can probably make it through that 1,500 quid barrier quite easily.
Potentially, we could spend 5 days welding underneath this car and still sell it for 1,500 quid, couldn't we?
Exactly, yeah. But I've got good thoughts about this one.
No, I've been having a thought about its police heritage. You know, it did have, at one point, it had white doors. I mean, I've never seen a police minor, but it's something, I don't know. If you've got to find something to give it a selling point, it might work.
I think it would be very funny, ha-ha, to do that. But there aren't going to be that many people that are going to want the Dixon and Dot Green car, are there? But, you know...
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The one thing we do need to do, before we take pictures of it, we really do need to give it a wash, don't we?
In the past, we've taken pics for our internet auction straight away, and the cars have not been at their best, obviously because we're going to improve them. But even if you add pictures later, those early shots online are very important, so it's worth a bit of effort. So I snap away, making the most of the lovely blue paint. I'll list the car straight away on the basis that the car will be ready for sale by the end of the week.
You want to bring it in then? And then it's time for the Morris to enter what will hopefully be its 5-day holiday home.
Oh. Was it firing on 3 before?
No, Gus, it wasn't.
That's so typical, isn't it? It runs perfectly on 4 cylinders all the time we're driving it on a test drive. As soon as we get it back here...
Yeah, she's been languishing in semi-retirement for all of these years. She's come out dancing, but unfortunately pulled a bit of a muscle.
She put on a good show, though, didn't she?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm not so worried about that. I'm more concerned about what's underneath.
That's the thing we need to know. Let's get it up, shall we?
Up on the ramp, yeah.
Often when cars go up in our workshop, we're steeling ourselves for a shock or we're surprised. But this time we know there's rust, but we don't know how much. Just so I don't poison my copy with bad vibes, we hold it there and I get the auction ad up. I list the MOG as having a new MOT and we're good to go.
I'm just wondering if I can legitimately charge £3,000 as a buy it now price for our Morris Minor. It's got some paint issues on the door, so I expect we'll probably have to settle for less, but £3,000 was our holy grail. That's what we wanted to punch through to. So buy it now, £3,000. A reserve price? Well, I think if we put 2,500, it's roughly going to double our money. And starting price, 99p to get the ball rolling. Right, come on, eyes down. Let's see what we've got then.
Well, this is the bit we know about.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that doesn't look too bad. That's an easy patch.
Well, there's a hole here. I can stick my whole thumb through it.
Oh, no. Well, that's not a very good start, is it?
Ow.
Well, it's a bit of a monkey trap, is it?
It is. I've got my thumb stuck in it. Oh, my God, Will.
Oh, no. That's the thing with Morris Minors.
All that, all the way along there, is rotten, isn't it? Look.
Oh, God, that's horrible. We've done it again, haven't we, Gus?
Well, potentially, as we've only seen this much, and it's about as bad as it could possibly be.
Have a look over here, though. That's not too bad, is it? It's already been welded.
Yeah, and it's neat, isn't it?
Yeah, that is quite presentable. I'm going to have a look at this lot.
Well...
Damper looks all right.
Yeah.
Springs look OK as well.
Yes.
It's getting better. So there you have it. Never look forward to finding rust. The Moggy isn't quite as good as we'd hoped.
But at least inspection of the springs and wheel arches shows we've seen the worst of the rust. So let's get on with the spring hangers.
Oh, nice.
Will believes he's the welding champion, but I refuse to be left out and volunteer to sort out the rear. I'm not great at welding, but this is a great car to practice on. I unbolt and remove the fuel tank, carefully draining it into a bucket, and pull the springs out of the way. Then the exhaust needs to be removed so I can get to the corner of the floor pan. So our spring's off, our petrol tank's out, and the exhaust pipe's off so that I can see how bad the rot is in here, which is quite extensive. I'm now slightly regretting my decision to practice welding, but in for a penny, in for a pound. So I spend an hour or two cutting around the rust so I can make new seams on which to attach new metals. and grind off as much surface rust as I can. Will, eat your heart out. Well, as charming as this beautiful old Morris is, it's slightly alarming the fact that I'm cleaning this up to put a patch on, and all I'm finding is holes and holes and holes, and they're spreading across to join up with the big hole here, and then the more holes here. So in actual fact, what I'm going to do is get a panel and see if I can get it here as soon as possible. And in the meantime, I'm going to tack on my box section, which is ready to go. The problem with this floor being rotten is it's costing us time. It's costing us time and it's costing us money, neither of which we can afford. So by the end of the first day, it's a mixed bag of emotions. Happy to have the car, excited to be welding it, frustrated and worn out by the process. Day 2, we buy, fix and sell cars of a scratchy nature, and our latest 1,280 quid acquisition is this Morris Minor, an ex-police car. It's a bit rusty.
That's why Gus has become the new welding king.
One of the great things about Morris Minors is that you can get almost every part for them. There's a whole industry based around manufacturing bits and pieces and panels for where your Morris Minor may well rot. This panel here is for where the rear damper and the rear spring hanger go, and it is actually where our Morris Minor has rotted, which is great. So I'm just going to punch some holes in this one here so I can weld it onto the car. Now it's the hard work of getting the panels into place. There's good welding and there's bodge welding, where you weld over old sections. We're doing it all the good way, which means cutting out all the poor metal beforehand. Think of welding as sticking two surfaces together, but rather than glue, using electricity to fuse them. I clamp the 45-pound box section into place and slowly work my way along the holes where the molten metal will flow. Considering this is among the most complicated welding I've done, I'll call it a success, and a saving of around £300 to £500 if I'd have taken it out of house.
Gus knows I actually enjoy welding, but he wants to do it himself. That's fine. It gives me the chance to get the extra repair panels he wants and check out one of the UK's best-known Morris specialists. The owner, Zach, gives me a quick tour.
Great, so this is our body shop. We've got a paint booth.
That's lovely.
Yeah, we take everything back to the bare metal when we have to. A lot of rebuild, door repair.
There are multiple panels available for the MOG, and these guys make many of them. So I'm going to point out the bits I need and see what they've got.
So where are we looking at, Will?
Well, we're currently working on this area here and the spring hanger.
Yeah.
But we're constantly chasing that hole.
Yeah.
The rust is creeping. So we've got a huge hole down here at the moment.
Yeah, well, we could do a repair panel in there, which we do, just for where, because often it comes through there. Where else?
Well, there's that, and then this area in the middle as well, and it's pretty crunchy all the way along here as well.
Right, yeah. Well, we do from there to there, we do the whole apron.
OK.
We're doing the whole apron, and it takes you up to there, and it cuts in, so you've got a place to weld it in there as well.
Do you know what? I think that's going to be absolutely perfect for what we're looking for.
And you'll need to replace the bit of the slam handle where that goes in as well if you replace that, so we need to get that as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah, well done.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's going to be perfect for the job that we're doing. Do you keep those here?
Yeah, we've got everything. Come with me. So if you come through this way, this is our warehouse. So we've got everything in here that you're going to need. Watch yourself. Yeah.
I want some of those as well. And some of those.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to need a little bit of all of these, aren't you?
Yes.
Wings. Watch out the wings.
Oh, this is lovely.
Where are we? Yeah, here we are. How's that?
That is going to get us right out of trouble. It's this bit here we need and this bit here. Didn't you say something about the lock mechanism?
Yeah, there's a slam panel for the lock mechanism. That's what you need. That was convenient, wasn't it? There you go.
That is convenient.
Yeah,
very
right
good.
there.
Yeah, that's the bit. I know where that goes. I've seen that in the car. It sort of goes there-ish, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
That is fabulous. Brilliant. That'll do everything.
Great.
Gus's crazy idea on the police angle will never work. But since Zach restores these cars, on the way out, I thought it was worth an ask. We're worried, you know, if we do it back up as a police car, is there going to be any money in that?
There's going to be a market for it, definitely, because there's definitely clubs that that focus on old police vehicles. We've done up a few here, and yeah, and people love them. There's a certain type of person likes them.
Cool, brilliant. Oh, well, that's really good news. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cheers, Zach.
Very nice to meet you.
And you,
Enjoyed
mate.
that.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Not everybody uses repair panels. In time, I or Gus could fabricate these, but it would take ages. Buying them for only 50 quid is a much more efficient use of time. I can't wait to see how Gus is getting on. Gus?
Oh.
Got you.
Oh, you got it!
Look what I got for you.
Fabulous.
I have been shopping and got you one of these.
Oh, that's great. So that goes onto the seam at the corner.
Yeah, that's the bit you haven't got.
I haven't got that at all.
Also,
no.
this bit here.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite handy, isn't it?
That's going to make life so much easier, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There you are.
If I accept it, I mean I have to do it all.
Well, I'm not, I'm not afraid of coming and helping
I
a bit.
really could do with a hand.
Yeah?
It's just turned out to be so much work.
Well, I'm not surprised. It is a lot of work. But with the addition of this and a couple more hours, we're going to have a really good car.
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
Brilliant. Thank you.
When you're in a partnership, sometimes it's good to work apart. But when there's a lot to be done, you buckle down together and halve the job. In no time, the rear panel is ready to offer up. We'll give it a little test fit then.
Go on then.
Right.
Look at that. That is amazing. That is amazing. These are a lifesaver, aren't they?
Yeah, and it fits really, really nicely now.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we get our skates on, there's no reason we can't finish this lot before the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, good. Good.
And with a snap, crackle and pop, we do make cracking progress.
Gus,
Ha!
the last bit to your jigsaw.
Oh, yes, look. No more holes.
It's coming on a tree, isn't it?
It's a labour of love, though, isn't it?
But it does look like one man's labour of love, so I'm going to leave you to it and see you in the morning.
All right, I'm going to finish this and then clutter off anyway, so...
Cool, catch you later.
All right, see ya. Ta-ra.
Good night.
And I have the satisfaction of finishing up my welding bonanza, and by nightfall, I know the Morris will have moved on to the next level. We bought what might well be the cheapest decent Morris Minor at auction, only £1,280, but decent is a relative term, and the rear of the car had big chunks missing. When it came into the workshop, it was firing on 3 cylinders, so that's our next job.
I don't think there can be much wrong with it, can there? I mean, it was running on 4 cylinders when we took it for a ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, the worrying thing is, though, there are a couple of dozen things that could be wrong with it, and I'm scared.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking, when I started running my Minor on unleaded petrol, and I know unleaded petrol was more voracious then, but it burnt a valve out, it burnt it out very quickly.
No, that's not the news that we want. This car has already given us a load of grief that we don't need. Let's get some tools out and see how we get on. We can check the integrity of the cylinders with a simple compression test. The sparks are removed and the machine is plumbed in place. Each cylinder should build up a certain amount of pressure when we spin it over. If it doesn't build up that pressure, then that may indicate that there's damage to the valve or the valve seat, which would be a big problem. I'm going to run a test to see if that is the case. Each cylinder should be producing a pressure of approximately 150 psi. If they're not, we've got a problem. Gus?
Oh, yeah,
Would you come and spin the engine over for me?
no problem. Ready?
Yeah, ready? Lovely. That is 150 psi.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what was it supposed to be then?
Should be 150 plus or minus 10%. I'm going to write that down. That's good news, isn't it?
Yeah.
150. Right, number 2. I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, number 2 is 150. Bang on the money.
Wow.
Number 3.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, though. I am quite excited, but still slightly worried. Yeah, ready. Perfect.
That is amazing, isn't it?
It is. That is awesome. Right, OK, so re-rigging for number 4. Go. OK.
That doesn't look good. Is that not good?
Just when I thought that this car had given us loads of grief and loads of welding to do, I thought we might just get away with it on the valves.
Yeah, what is it?
Turns out we have. 150. Thank you very much. Big tick in the box. Hey! Yay! Look at that.
That's great, isn't
That's
it?
awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, really
Isn't that
good.
brilliant? So,
That's so much better, isn't it?
that's
to know
absolutely brilliant. At least we know the valves and the valve seats are now okay.
that. There's no deconstruction now, which is great, isn't it?
Yes, I've just got to work out what else it is. So I've got to go back to base level on distributor, carburetor, figure out all the bits and pieces, set it all back to normal stuff.
Yeah, so electrics, fuel.
Yes, that's it.
And you know what? It's going to run so much better when you put those spark plugs back in.
Cheers, Gus. So the next port of call is the fuel system and the carburetor. That's where the fuel is mixed. And cars that have been sitting around for a long time often suffer with stuck carbs. So let's hope there's something wrong with this. It's a cheaper fix. There you go. I've already found 2 quite big problems. The float chamber is all full of brown, nasty sludge. And the choke mechanism, when I operate it, is jamming. It's not returning, which is definitely a problem. But I reckon if I strip it apart, clean it up, put it all back together, I don't need a refurb kit on this. I can just repair it. The standard path these days is just to swap over faulty carbs or engine bits, but cleaning is cheaper and usually just as effective. That treat can wait until tomorrow. We're off down the pub to toast compression on 4 cylinders. I'm getting down and dirty, or getting the dirty down, on the Morris Minor carburetor. The choke was stuck on and was affecting the running. Look at that, doesn't that look good? It's really rewarding cleaning them up like that, making them look great. I've got all of this crud out of the float chamber, good, gone. I'm just attacking this bit at the moment, which is the choke mechanism and also the main jet for the carburetor, which I think is jamming. And being as I'm trying to do this without any new parts, I'm going to have to be very, very careful. So I strip down the jets and see what I can see. This part here is the main jet, and it's a bit worn, but it's also a bit gummed up on the bits where it's not worn. So I need to clean that up. This is the part that it slides up and down in. And if it's a bit worn and a bit gummed up, then it's a last-ditch attempt. But I'm sure that with a bit of a polish up and a bit of a clean, I'll be able to get it working pretty good. I use a bit of carb cleaner to get rid of any residue. And then slowly build up the rest of the components. I put a little fuel in it, that's so I can try it out. And here we go. Time to see if it's paid off there, isn't it? Does that look like a slightly smug look on my face? We've got away without spending too much money so far, but on the way home, I plan to reverse that trend. There's just time to collect a few items of bright work that the Morris is missing. Sitting on the computer buying things off the internet isn't exactly my idea of fun. So, I've come here because I know that I'm going to be able to have a look at the bits, check out the quality, have a look at the prices, and also have a look at the rest of the stuff that they've got as well, because I don't always know what I want until I've seen what's available. Actually, this place has thousands of products at my disposal, all the way up to whole engines. Hiya.
Hello.
Good day. I'm Will.
I'm Matt.
Good day to you, Matt. Right, Matt,
Yes.
you've got a load of Morris Minor bits, haven't you?
Yes, we
In
have.
that great big warehouse that I've seen around the side.
We have.
Wow! Ha, you must do things for every single British car that's ever been made.
Nearly. I mean, mostly MG, Triumph, Jaguar, Austin Healey, Morris Minor, obviously, Classic Mini, MX-5.
That's amazing. Should we get started on the old hubcaps?
Hubcaps are this way.
Brilliant.
So
Whoa.
hubcaps. Here we go.
Sorry.
Here we go.
Hubcaps.
These are the ones you want with the M?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, they're cool. Super cool.
Okay. So what's next on the list?
Door handle.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so we should find what we need somewhere in here. Here we go. It was left hand you needed, right?
Yes, it was. Yes.
I think that's the one.
Oh, isn't that nice? That's a proper job. It's nice to see really good quality bits coming out, isn't it? We'll
Looks
definitely
smart.
keep that neatly wrapped up and keep it safe.
Let's do that.
Shall I put it in my pocket?
Sure.
In the end, I part with 125 quid on bright work, and on impulse, I grab a phone charger and electronic points to make the MOG starting better. Brilliant. It's coming. You see, a place like that really works for me, because not only have I got the bits that I thought I needed, I also managed to find all the bits that I didn't think I needed.
It's day 4 on our Morris Minor, and we're in the rare position of having a car with the rust and mechanicals sorted out.
So what do we do with our remaining time in the workshop? Gus has plans. Morning, Gus.
Morning. Well, I'm glad you've asked, because I've been doing a little bit of detective work, and look here, see? These Minors were among the first cars to be Panda cars. And look how sweet they look. They made thousands of them as well. Can we really deny its heritage any longer? I think we should free it from its shackles of mediocrity and turn it back into a Panda car.
All right,
Excellent.
let's get to work.
The wrap is a big £30 sticker, and the car needs to be cleaned beforehand, or it won't stick.
The last time we wrapped a car, it looked good from a distance, but close up it had a couple of bubbles and cuts. This time, we're only wrapping the roof and 2 doors. Maybe we can manage it.
You got your tape measure?
I have, yes, I have.
Was it
It's
153?
Is that centimetres?
Yeah.
Good. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty big roof, isn't it?
I'll hold it, you cut it.
Okay.
Then the fun starts. The technique is to measure up the panel size you need and cut it off the roll.
Okay, that gives an oversized sticker to wrestle into place.
Smell reminds me of something from my childhood.
Right. That's the front of the B pillar, yeah.
Got it. Right, well, I'm bang on there.
Yeah, me too.
Then you select a line to work from. We're working from the back.
Are we feeling brave?
I think so. I think to the bottom of that sort of hockey stick as it goes round there, don't you think?
All in one. Right.
Cut it down.
Just because I don't want to be getting it wrong, I've left it tons of room.
I think I've been less brave because I was worried about that hockey stick, but in actual fact, it's perfect, isn't it?
And then peel the backing off, hold your breath and get it on the car.
Okay.
Right, you good?
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
I've
just trying
got
to
it.
hold it. You got it?
Yeah, that big. We got it. Lovely. Well, Gus and I haven't quite learned the black art.
Is that something?
And here's why. You have to heat the panel and stretch the wrap onto it. This is high-stress stuff. I'm coming round. The first stage is usually okay, pulling the vinyl flat and ironing out the air bubbles. And at the edges, it all comes undone.
This is the worrying bit. Because this is the bit that I've excessively pulled. Let's get that one right out.
Yeah. Right, now then.
That's it.
The roof is looking excellent, even if we do say so ourselves.
That was tricky. But, yeah, we've still got the doors to go yet, and those are a very odd shape.
They're an odd shape, but I think we've got it cracked because we've got the teamwork thing going.
Yeah.
And what we need to do now that we finish the roof is the obligatory stand back for 20 minutes and have a cup of tea and look at it a lot.
Haven't we done well?
Haven't we done well time?
That's
Yeah,
worrying,
exactly.
because in that time we're likely to forget how we did it. That's my trip hazard. How did you get on with that?
Did you put that there?
Yeah, sorry. We did have a conversation about the fact that it was going to be there.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Remember?
No, it looks great.
Yeah, done very well, apart from...
Very stiff.
Luckily, Gus's pride was hurt more than his kneecaps, so we're clear to do the doors. This will test our newfound wrapping skills.
I think we're just going to stick it on here, aren't we? We're going to peel it,
Yeah.
stretch it, stick it on there.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good pull. That's a really good pull.
That's it.
Oh, look at that. That is what we would call in the West Country, Gert Lush.
Gert Lush or not, we're a bit gung-ho now and decide to go a little bit faster. There are different sorts of wraps, ones that contract and ones that don't. I'm not sure this is the best product for this shape. At the end of the day, we know what to do. We've already toasted our 4-cylinder compression in the pub, now we can drink to our wrapping skills. It's day 5, the last one on our minor. We flip bangers, and this Morris is pretty good now, so we're using the remaining time to turn it back into a police car, my idea, and chase a higher price.
Lovely. So what have you got? Well,
I've got some lovely Morris Minor bling.
And they look like they're nice quality ones as well.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, it should be just the ticket.
Electronic ignition?
Yep, to keep up with the times.
And?
Also to keep up with the times, a 12-volt DC multi-functioning electrical outlet socket.
Wow, what on earth would one of those look like? Oh, a cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Perfect, well, that'll come in handy.
We all need them nowadays, don't we?
Yeah, brilliant. Well, do you want to put that on then?
Yeah, I'd like to, actually.
All right, I'll do that.
Cool. Whoever buys this car is going to need a 12-volt socket for charging up their phone or the sat-nav, stuff like that. And because it's a nice classic car, we don't want to be drilling a hole in the dashboard. So I'm going to fit it in the back of this glove box. Because this is an old car, removing the glove box is a couple of screws. And rather than being vacuum-pressed plastic, the lining is made from vinyl-backed card. I fashion a hole for the 12-volt charger, or cigarette lighter if that's your thing. I secure it to the back and connect it to the wiring loom. The trick is to know where your positive goes and the negative. If you get it wrong, you'll short out the system. This is going to be my positive supply from the fuse box. To complete the circuit, I need a negative supply as well, which I can take from the body of the car. There's a handy little self-tapper which somebody's left attached on the inside of here, which doesn't seem to have any use, so I'm just going to reuse that. Screw that into there. Bingo. And this is how a 21st century Morris Minor owner will charge their phone.
While Will installs new and cool kit, I'm installing electronic ignition. Currently, the Moggy has points which regulate the timing of the spark. You can swap them for a more reliable electronic system.
If this was my car, I wouldn't be changing these points for electronic ignition. There's something strangely organic about points. The nylon foot wears, the gap opens up. The efficiency of the engine tails off, and you have to check them, you have to clean them, and you have to reset them. And I like that involvement. So we're going to change them for electronic ignition because actually that's going to make the car more saleable.
The swap is easy peasy. You lift out the points and condenser, and the custom designed magnetic pickup and rotor arm goes back in their place.
So it's as simple as that. It's a really easy way of improving everyday life on a classic car.
It feels more like a full stop, but there's always one more. 4 more.
So this is our Miner. We knew that £1,500 got you a scabby mog, but we got a good one for £1,280. But not that good. We spent £90 on repair panels, £125 on bling and upgrades, and £30 on a big roll of white vinyl. That means the Morris is weighing in at £1,525.
Well, we're at the end of the road with our little car, aren't we?
Yeah.
In a good way. And we're not in the scrapyard.
I think we did brilliantly well because we fished this out of a sea of miners, didn't we? We were looking for a good one for the price. We got a good one. And what we've done to it has made it a really good car, I think.
Yeah, well, seeing it now and realising that this car is such a head-turner and it's a British classic and a design icon.
Do you know, whoever buys this car has got the best of both worlds because they can rip the vinyl off and they've got a really beautiful coloured Morris Minor, or, and I suspect this is what's going to happen, we'll sell it to somebody who wants a genuine numbered Morris Minor Panda car.
Well, with that in mind, I bought it a little present.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, look at this.
I can see what you've got.
What do you reckon to that, then? There we go. What do you reckon to that?
I think we should drive home really fast.
But sadly, we're not allowed to drive with the police signs unless we want to get attention from the same people. And this time, thankfully, Will's not in the driving seat.
I think we got it spot on with this car, you know. It drives so well. And there's so many of cars of this age are soggy, aren't they? But this is tight. And the engine and gearbox have known each other for decades and they get along really well.
You know, for the first time ever, I've not actually paid any attention to the internet.
Now, you're normally all over that like a rash, aren't you?
I am, yeah, but this time, absolutely nothing. And I am starting to get a little bit interested about just what's going on there.
Well, it's a bit disappointing, actually, because, well, we tried to make this car stand out, didn't we? Above that sea of other miners that's for sale.
Yeah, that's what we've done.
And therein lies the problem. We did it, but we did all the visual changes after we posted it online. So although there's people interested in it, the bids are far too low.
Oh, well, that's a problem, isn't it? Well, what we need to do then, instead of just joyriding this car around, we need to get back, re-photograph it, repost the adverts, bring it up to date and let everybody know what we've now got available.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Armed with a new direction, we relist the Morris, and within 2 days of it going up, someone clicks the buy it now, which is $2,995.
Keith, hello,
Hi.
I'm Gus.
Hi,
Nice to meet
Gus.
you.
Hi, Gus.
Hi, Keith, I'm Will.
Hi, Will. Nice to meet you.
Well, what do you think of it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I've been looking for about a year or so for a project car now, and this one's definitely the most solid and complete car that I've seen in this year.
Oh, that's great. Was it actually a police Morris Minor you were looking for?
It wasn't. I was looking for just for a two-door saloon, but the fact that it is a police car definitely made it stand out a bit more online. And I think it gives me a direction to take the restoration I want to do.
Yeah.
What we'll be looking at doing is getting the light box for on the roof, and then we'll get the 1960s radio inside, and we'll take it back towards being an original police car and celebrate that fact.
That's good. We had a long conversation, didn't we, about whether to lean on its police heritage or not, and we decided to because we thought that would make it stand out.
In fairness, it's the only Morris police car I've seen for sale in the time I've been looking.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
We might have got a bit more money for it then.
We should have pushed this guy harder.
Well done, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Keith, well, before I shake your hand, I think it's only fair that we donate this to you and the car as well.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
A deal at $2,995 is £55 lower than the double money ticket, but it's so close against some good competition. We're happy, Keith is happy, and this banger gets a new life.